What's up, everyone? Welcome to Fortnite Live. I am Will Kinsler, but that's the name my parents gave me. You guys can call me Rackzilla. It's been a while since we have done a stream for Fortnite, but we're starting our online test 3 today, and so we thought we'd kick it back off. I've got a bunch of my Fortnite friends here with me today. Tanya Watson, our executive producer, welcome.
Hello.
How does it feel to get things back going again?
It feels awesome. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but we're super excited to get people in and playing again.
Yep. Also have Kale and Natalie from the Fortnite community team. They're going to be playing a little bit later. But before we jump into that, I wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been doing since we last talked to you guys. So at the end of Online Test 2, we did a stream. We had mentioned that we were about to go to LA. For one of our Storm Chaser events. So you and I were out there, Kale. I wanted to have you kind of talk real quick about what we did while we were out there and what it was like.
Sure. So when we went out there, it was part of Judges Week for E3. The game was at E3. Tanya did a lot of interviews. Sure some of you saw all of that. But we also did a Storm Chasers event, and we had some folks come out and come and play the game for a day. I'm sure some of you watching are probably a part of a Storm Chasers event. We held it at I don't remember the name of the place now.
It was a hotel.
It was a hotel. It was a very nice, fancy hotel. There's some footage of
See, I didn't get to go to that part of it.
Oh, yeah.
The fancy part.
Yeah, it's fancy. Will, Darren, Roger was there.
Yeah.
It was pretty awesome. We got to meet some new streamers, Jericho and let me see, Mav and Miss Pudding, who's a part of Jeff. I was just talking with him. They're Zevron, I think is the name of the group they run. But I met them, talked with them. A lot of folks are really excited about the game. It was awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
And now all those people that were at the event are in OT3 today, right?
Now they're all in today.
Yep. So, we're going to watch you guys play in a little bit. You guys are going to be competing against each other, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But before we do that, one of the things, that we've been doing over the last couple of days, we do this typically at the beginning of every online test, is that we give away some codes. So we've been doing that the last few days. We've done it on Facebook. We've done it on Twitter. Even did it in places like Instagram, Snapchat. But we wanted to give away some on the stream today. And I'm told that we're actually going to have a little bit of help doing that. We've got a special helper who's going to come in and give us a special signal every time there's going to be codes in the chat. Do it! All right, so if you didn't see that, that's every time you see "do it," that's going to be the sign that you need to take a look at the chat, because in the chat window there's going to be a bunch of codes in there every time that happens. So one thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't already, right now go to Fortnite.com, sign up for an Epic Games account, because that'll help the process of getting the code redeemed faster. Basically, you know how it is if you're in Twitch chat and you're trying to be one of the people that gets the codes. Obviously, they go like super fast.
Fastest hands win.
Exactly.
Oh, you got to be prepared.
Yeah, but if you go to Fortnite.com and register for an Epic Games account, you at least won't lose because you don't already have one.
Sign up for an account. Yeah,
right, exactly. You're going to need it anyway if you're going to be playing Fortnite. So make sure that you go ahead and sign up for one. Yep, exactly. Do it.
Yeah. Have the tab open with the little dialogue box.
There it is. So we've got some
Code
codes.
word, do it.
Yeah, codes flooding into the chat now. We're going to be doing that throughout the stream. So make sure you're signed up. Because it's been a while since we streamed, wanted to talk a little bit, Tanya, just about Fortnite. For anybody who's just tuning in for the first time, doesn't know what it is, what are they about to see? What is Fortnite all about?
Well, Fortnite, big picture, is an action building game. So in Fortnite, where you build fast, you build furiously, you explore worlds, craft items, build forts with your friends, and defend them against the creatures that come and attack. So you have lots of different types of things that you can do in the game, and lots of things to see, different things to craft, and it's all to save the world.
Right, and today we're kicking off Online Test 3. So, we've done a couple of OTs already. What's kind of like the high level sort of like just couple bullets about like Like, what
Yeah.
is the purpose of this online test?
So in the last online test, I mean, one thing that we saw for sure were that people were having a hard time playing together. And as part of our tutorial process and even like coming out of that and creating games. And so a big goal for this online test was make it much, much easier for people to play together. So as people who are logging in, they'll be able to see like everything about getting into games is completely different, from the lobby system to how you select which mission you want to do and decide what kind of rewards you want to get back into the game and out again. So all of that has been completely gutted.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna watch a little bit of gameplay today, and basically, Kale and Natalie, they're gonna be playing what's called a gate capture mission. Can you tell us real quick what that is for somebody if they haven't seen
It's not
it?
Shia.
He's stalking.
Yes. So, gate capture is one of our missions, and I know for the folks who have been playing, right? They've been seeing a lot of gate capture over the past few online tests, but there will be more and more missions as things progress. But in gate capture, what you're looking to do is you have to find the gate in the world and put an atlas on it. And once you've placed the atlas, you want to build a fort and create your fortifications, lay your traps, like decide, based on how many gates you need to close or what type of enemies, like what the difficulty is, how much, you want to spend to build that fort, and then you defend it against the creatures once you decide to start that process.
Right. So we're going to use a gate capture mission today to have a little bit of friendly competition between Kale and Natalie.
Oh yeah.
So, as you mentioned, there are some that are multiple gates.
Yep.
So we found one that is 2 gates. And even though technically Kale and Natalie are playing on the same team because they've got to defend both gates, we're going to have them each be responsible for one of the gates. And so they're going to go in.
Oh.
Yeah, they're going to go in. They're each going to build around their respective gate. And we've given them some QA helper teammates that are going to play as Outlanders, help them get resources, help them get all the things that they need. And basically what we're going to do is for everybody watching, at the end of the show, after they're playing, you guys are going to tell us who do you think did a better job building their fort to defend the gate.
Yep.
So you have to do it with style.
I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly.
ready.
So we've been talking about this the last couple of days between Kale and Natalie, and it's there's been a little bit of trash talk. There's been like a tiny
Like what?
tiny
Can you
bit.
give me a sample?
Sure. I mean, Will, he was there. She came over and asked me. And here's the thing. I've never heard Natalie talk any trash. So this is gonna be.
I'm not a very good trash
Yeah,
talker. I only have a couple lines.
She told me she sits and waits and thinks about what she's gonna say versus just saying it. And I'm more of a
I miss
I'm
an
a former pro
opportunity.
player, so it's like I'm used to it. So anyway,
Retired pro player.
retired. I'm retired.
Just to put that
Oh,
out there.
crap. Did I hear some trash
Just a little bit
talk?
of trash talk.
Oh, dang, Natalie.
Innocent.
You're like, excuse me, retired.
Retired. So she came over. She's like, so are you ready for today? I was like, you gonna practice all? You got a strategy? I was like, I don't need a strategy. I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
He
it.
I
just-
actually-
he
Oh.
just dropped the mic on me,
That's
basically.
that's not
Oh.
exactly what happened. So I wrote this
You
down.
wrote-
I wanted to make sure that I didn't get this wrong. So I had suggested to Natalie yesterday, hey, you should go talk to your teammate Will that you're gonna be playing with, to have your strategy. I mean, you want to win, right?
Right.
So she's like, that's a great idea. She went in this morning. She talked with him. I said, hey, Kale, you're gonna be playing with Reed. Do you want to go and talk with him today? I made the same suggestion. I wanted to
Yeah.
be fair, right?
Mhm.
He said, I don't need to. That's what he said. So
Wow.
I don't know. Maybe the two of them are just that good. Maybe they have natural chemistry together. I don't think they've ever
know.
played together before, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
I saw the confidence in Reed's eyes. He's ready.
Yeah. So how are you going to communicate with hand signals or?
No, it's telepathic.
You know what they told me when I walked in
Psychic.
the QA's room earlier? I was like, so what about, Will? What can you tell me about his skills? And they were like, different Will, my Will, the
Yep.
one I'm playing with.
The one who's going to help you beat KL.
Exactly. Then they were like, we're going to have to rein him in. We're a little afraid he's going to go crazy and just destroy everything and you won't have anything to do. And I was like, okay. So
All
I
right.
feel ready.
All right. Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
unleash the will on this.
He'll put you inside of his backpack and carry you along.
I can
That's fine.
see some Rocky style montages now of the training that must have happened prior to this moment.
Yeah. It's
All
ready.
right, so it feels like we're just about ready for this, but as much as this is going to be really fun, I want to add one little wrinkle to it, and that is going to be our wheel. So we have a wheel that Kale and Natalie are going to spin before they go and play. And basically what it's going to do is we created a couple of modifiers that's going to change some aspects of how they play Fortnite. And some of those, actually only one of them makes it easier. The rest make it a lot harder. And so they're each going to go up and spin before they sit down and play. The one that'll make it easier is that they can get a rocket launcher. So the rocket launcher is really effective. It's actually really effective at collecting materials, and that will help them out a lot. But there's also something where they can have to give all of their metal that we've given them to their opponent, which would not be so fun because that's the strongest material that you can build with. There is one where after we start the gate and they're defending it, halfway through they have to run and jump completely off the map.
All right, this is going to be exciting.
I kind of want to see somebody get that one, you know. And you know, then the last one is that when we start the gate capture, when they begin defending, when they begin fighting the enemy husks, they're gonna have to use only a wooden stick for 1 minute. That's not that fun for them to do that because we're giving them all these awesome weapons, some of which we'll talk about that are new.
Yeah, some of our new weapons.
OT3, exactly. So we've given them all of those things, and then we're gonna say we give and then we take away.
Now the real question is anyone going to be playing on a Mac?
No.
Not right
Well,
now, but yes, but we've
But
actually.
guess
People
what?
are
If you
right
have a
now.
Mac,
Yes.
you like that?
I do.
Yeah. If you have a Mac, you can play OT3. You can play Fortnite.
That's true. There's people in
Yeah.
playing right now.
So if you think you wouldn't be able to because you have a Mac, this build you can run it on your Mac, on your MacBook Pro. Yep.
Just do it.
No? Yeah.
There it is. More codes and more Mac. So I think we're ready. So Natalie, I'm gonna have you go over and spin the wheel first.
All right.
And you can let us know what you get. Good luck. Whatever it is that Natalie gets, we're going to then remove that option for Kale. So he's got to get something totally different. So if you get that yellow one, which is the rocket launcher, he can't get it.
Oh
Okay.
man. Aim for the rocket launcher, Natalie.
All right, here we go.
I have
I'm just
faith.
gonna close my eyes.
Okay.
Takes a long time, doesn't it?
Slowing down. Oh, this is not going to be rocket launcher, is
Ah.
it? Oh.
Okay, I'm comfortable with this. I think I can make it work. I usually fight
Wooden
with the wooden
stick for 1 minute of the tougher ones is not that bad. Like I think you'll be okay. All right, go ahead and sit down at your station. We'll have Kale go, and he has a chance to maybe get the rocket launcher, or he could end up having to jump off the map. That's kind of what I want to see. You know, he's gonna be playing as constructor. Constructor's slow. If you fall off the map, you gotta then run all the way back.
Yeah.
See what kind of luck he's got. Oh. Yes! That's exactly what
jump
we're
off
hoping for. Jump off a
Yes!
cliff. So it takes
Kale.
it takes 8
Excellent.
minutes to do a gate capture to defend the gate, and halfway through that, when there's 4 minutes, we're gonna tell Kale, sorry, dude. You have to go run and jump off the edge of the map. He's going to lose a little bit of time of defending there.
So
and
do we get to tell Natalie when she has to use her stick?
she's going to do it from the very beginning.
Oh.
Unless, I mean, well, we did our, to be fair, I guess we have to stay with the rules that we created
What?
this time.
Okay.
So what I did forget to mention, though, is our winner. We've got to be playing for a reason, right?
Uh-huh.
So the winner, after we put a poll in the chat at the very end of the show, the winner is going to get to choose the next stream what goes on the spin wheel. So we'll get some more interesting things. They kind of get to be the one to choose and decide. So
Awesome.
are we ready over there to check out some Fortnite action?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Shia's already
Oh, he's
facing around.
taunting us. Shia is.
All right.
All right,
So,
here we go.
Yeah, so we've already got them into a world. Typically, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to go and look for the gate, right?
Yep.
So the gate, you've got to find
They've already found it. Looks like.
Yeah, they
and
found their gates.
Mhm.
And
once you found the gate, well, I think depending on your strategy, like I usually like to clear the area,
Mhm.
or at least get an understanding of kind of what are the environmental factors. You know, take
Yeah.
into consideration
Yeah,
like what
absolutely.
are the buildings around me. Like I like to leave some of the buildings like right next to me looted, or I don't like to loot them.
oh, really?
Well, yeah, so that I can go back to them during the
later
battle.
on. Oh.
Yeah, so that way it's like if I run, because inevitably, right, you run out of something you weren't expecting, and so
Right.
there's a bunch of stuff. If there's a building right next to you, that's an awesome like last minute tactic.
Yeah.
You can leave it unlooted.
You know, one of the interesting things about the gates is that, you know, when you go into a map, you don't know where they're going to appear.
Yep.
And so what we see here is that yours on the bottom, Natalie?
Yes.
Yeah, so Natalie has had her gate spawn here below, and it looks like Kale's above. They're actually pretty close to each other. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes there's a little bit of distance there, but that's one of the things you have to think about, right? Is like where did the gate spawn?
So what difficulty are you guys playing on?
This is.
I think it's medium.
It's
Yeah.
medium.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
they're playing
cool.
on medium difficulty. We were in, this level a little earlier, and so they had, flingers and some of the other enemies that everybody's going to see a little bit later on. But
Do
so,
you want to tear this building down, Will, or do you want to? Okay.
so you'll notice.
Do they have
that
Outlander scavenging for them?
Yes. So
Excellent.
so they have two Outlanders. Are Will and Reed are helping them out. They have Outlanders. So you tell us real quick about so what's the benefit of them having an Outlander to go and be on their team?
Yeah, the Outlanders are our scavenging class. And so all of their abilities are related to their ability to scavenge for stuff, including the ability, they have, for those who haven't seen the Loot Llama, so they have the ability to find these beacons that will allow them to bring them back to the base and spawn them for everybody. So like the Loot Llama or the Impact Alpaca or...
Have we decided on an official name for that yet? I feel like that's point of contention.
It is a
still.
point of contention. Everybody goes back and forth. I'm in the camp of Loot Llama, but Impact Alpaca. How many games have alpacas in them?
I don't actually know the difference between an alpaca and a llama.
I don't either.
I thought alpaca was like a llama with a better haircut. I really don't know.
Well,
seems
either
like
way, it's a pinata that looks like a llama
You're just gonna be
or an
smashing
alpaca
it anyway,
that you
right?
smash, and it drops a whole bunch of loot all around wherever you place it. So it's a really quick way to get resources back to your base. The Outlanders also the ability to run faster, so they can get more stuff. They can hold more stuff in their backpack. They can. There's all sorts of other kind of defensive and offensive items they can find in the world, and they also have the ability to very quickly harvest materials all around them with a grenade that they can throw in it. Harvest all the
Gotcha.
materials
So
around,
Natalie, we've been watching. It looks like you're still gathering resources. Oh, time
Yes,
for a little time for code drop there. A little shy of visit, real quick.
I'm trying to clear a path because ideally we're gonna create kind of a funnel for enemies.
So
Don't tell
someone's gonna
Kale,
vote
he's
on
right
this,
next to
right?
me, but don't
Yeah, at
tell
the
him.
very end, I'm going to drop
not
a
worried
poll
about
in
it.
the chat, and everyone will,
Yeah.
I don't
will
really
vote.
want him to know my technique.
So we're looking at Kale. It looks like he's already building.
Whoa.
And
Oh, yeah.
So this is Kale. Okay.
I don't know.
Lone
This is interesting, Kale. But I wonder if are you going for form or function here?
I'm
It's
trying
real
to win
pretty.
this. I'm trying to win this. I'm winning the hearts and minds of the people while I crush my foes.
That's what it looks like, Kale. I really feel like so he's doing the advanced editing technique. So he's using roofs to build these angled walls, which are really great for defense because the creatures can't climb up them. But I see a lot of holes.
There are no holes in this.
I don't know,
this
what,
All right, there we go.
when the
Finally got rid
flingers-
of that thing.
I have to.
all right.
When I play, I try to be
Yeah.
a little bit humble, just because
Go
I
for
don't
it.
know what's
Go
gonna
for it. We
happen.
might as
Yeah.
But
well.
he feels very confident about this. He started building right away. He made it sound like he didn't have a plan, but this looks like, he can't just be doing this, without thinking about it. I feel like he's thought about this a little bit.
Yeah, there's
I have
definitely a
that-
plan here.
That I'm a next level. I'm like a mastermind villain. You just don't know.
I don't know though. What if there's nothing to vote on after the enemies come and destroy your base, Kale?
You don't need to be worried about my base. You need to be worried about Natalie's
Oh.
base
Well,
right now.
Technically, when in a 2-gate capture, they both need to defend their gates in order to
It's
win.
true. That's
So,
true.
hopefully they will win and they will defend both of the gates, and then we'll just be talking about who did it better.
I think
Yeah.
what's going to happen is my base is just going to be so easy to defend, and Kale is going to be begging me to come help him. So we'll just this base will defend itself.
So
All
we've
right.
got Natalie up now.
Yeah. So now you've started to build, Natalie. What's the
Reese, can you give
strategy
me some
here?
nuts and bolts?
So it looks like we have okay, this was going to be my funnel to bring husks into the hallway. Yeah, we closed it off. We closed it off. That was an accident. but we're gonna fix it. And yeah, just gonna line a hallway with traps and actually just kind of invite them in. Like this is my front door to my base, although it has a giant pit in it right now. I haven't decided if we're gonna use that for our advantage.
Oh.
So
I
one
think
of
I
the
might close it
So one
off.
of the nice, I was gonna say real quick, one of the nice things about this scenario is that all of the creatures are coming from one direction. It
Right.
looks like
yeah.
they're not coming from multiple directions, so you can take a look at the
remember what I was gonna
environment
do.
and take a look at
Yeah, so you can see that on the radar, right? So that's the
Yeah.
first thing generally. If you find the gate, you place the Atlas device, and you guys can see on the stream in the chat, you can see what direction they're coming from here. So it looks like a lot of it is coming from the north, which is good because sometimes sometimes they spawn from different directions. And if you could look over real quick, you can actually see where the sort of like clouds are,
Yep.
where the enemies are going to spawn from.
Yep.
So this will be
And
interesting.
those little purple glowy sections. It's
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
there you
spawn
go.
from those
Actual
areas.
spawn
So
points.
it gives you a sense of where they're going to come from. Which if you heard Natalie, she was kind of talking a little bit about hoping that she can draw them into a specific area. Which sometimes that's a strategy, right? Like you deny certain paths, hoping that they'll
I know.
go into a
But
certain
they
area.
always seem to find a path
They're
that
gonna
goes
find another
completely
way.
around. I know.
I
yeah.
have this feeling.
I feel like it happens to me all the time.
Well, that's part of the fun of it, though, right? Is that and this is something like I feel like Kale and I debate this all the time. Just what we call
Well, I
our
think we
fort
need
theory.
Too.
Coming to a classroom near you.
Yeah, and some of it is just testing and trying stuff out, right? So I was playing with somebody last night that came in that was, part of our friends and family group. They were new to the game, and so I had already built all this stuff, and I was hoping to drive them all into one area. But sometimes I don't know if it's gonna work, right? Like
Yep.
that, and that's part of the fun of it. And he was asking me, he said, so can you walk me through, what it is you're trying to do? And so I explained that to him, and then I'm just like crossing my fingers, like I hope that this does what I think it's gonna do.
Yeah.
And fortunately,
Will,
did.
I'm gonna need more traps. Do you have any?
See, I find that
Okay.
they always seem to find
Especially
a
floor
way,
traps.
especially if there's like a ramp
Mhm.
or some way to get around the traps. They always find
Yeah.
a way to kind of get around things.
Yeah.
And that's the part for me that's always like, ah.
Yeah.
And then they're dropping on my base from somewhere, and I'm like, where are they coming from?
Yeah, it seems like they take the path of least resistance, right? But sometimes it can be hard to tell what that is, and so sometimes you'll build up an area, but you don't want to build it up too much because
Yep.
if you do, then they
yeah,
will
any-
take that
anything you see
long
is level
route
one
and
upgraded.
and
Oh,
go to the back of your
look
base.
at
Gosh,
Kale's
what is this,
base.
Space pod?
Whoa, it
is
looks so
that?
cool.
Time.
Oh wait, I'm not supposed
Your
to show
base
favoritism,
is
am
taking
I?
over my base.
I mean, no
do you
favoritism.
mean?
It's
I
just
need
you're
more
just
room.
critiquing,
What-
right? Like,
What
Yeah.
is this
I have to
thing? What
say,
am I
Kale's
looking
the-
at over
It's
here?
functional. Okay, I don't know what yours is doing. It's gonna like take
It looks
off.
like a spaceship. It's super cool.
Wow.
How are you gonna defend?
It
How
might-
are you gonna defend that?
You know what? It
This
might
is-
actually attract husks. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
looks too cool. They're gonna want to go over there probably.
That's
Yeah,
so. What you're
like
seeing here, that's our edit mode for those who've never seen the game. It's so in the beginning I called Fortnite an action building game, and that's really what that means for us. Is that it's really easy to place, really quick and easy to place walls. It's really quick and easy to edit them. So that we got some windows. Everything has a purpose, right? Doors, once you've placed them, allow you to get through. Windows allow you to be able to shoot through, see the creatures. Of course, there's always that kind of risk and reward. If you put in a window, the wall has less hit points. It's less structurally sound. So you need to make those trade-offs. But that way, you can really kind of like, as the action and the tide of the combat turns, you can change things on the fly.
Do you have like a certain go-to type fort that you like to build? Like for example, some people that I've
Yes.
seen play really like building pyramid design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there are people who will stand by their pyramids, the pyramid design, like de facto.
Yeah.
But I'm all about, like, I'm a min-maxer, so I like to get away with using as few materials as possible.
Need more
to
stone. Do you have
still
any
win.
stone
Right,
or
because you're going to
the-
carry them into the
ore
next
that
zone.
helps to
Exactly,
build
because
So you-
all of the materials
Rough
that you have
ore,
coming out of this will stay with you for your next mission. So I always try to use as few as possible. So I like to try to funnel people as much as possible into
Yeah, just,
one
like,
area,
load up that whole hallway
creatures
with
as much
traps.
into one area, so that I can use as few bullets and as few traps and as few materials as possible.
That's exactly how I
you're
would
just handing them to
picture
me,
a
right.
producer playing
Yeah.
playing Fortnite.
I know, right? It makes total sense. Like this, I don't know. There's a lot of traps here. I'm like, on a medium difficulty, I don't know. I want to probably be focusing on upgrading my walls. You know, constructors can upgrade to level 3.
You know, sometimes I want to do that, right? But
Yeah.
then I'll start building and I'll be like, you know, I could probably pass with this. I can probably defend the gate, but I really want it to look cooler than it looks right now.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, if all else fails, what I always end up doing is making lots of fences, short fences with crisscross patterns
Yes.
and different angles.
Yeah, Fence Town.
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
that-
especially if there's like 2 different directions the creatures are coming from,
yeah.
and we're not, you know, it might be hard to coordinate.
Yeah,
between
yeah.
bouncing back.
Sometimes
Batteries?
that
Do you have
seems
any
like a good
batteries, or
way
do I have
to
to
sort of deny a path, at
Yeah.
least to some of the smaller creatures.
Yeah. Another thing too, I always try to think about is how easy, especially in a 2-gate capture,
Mm-hmm.
how easy is it to move from one gate to the other?
Right.
Thank
So like
you.
they don't have to
Perfect.
worry about this because
Because they're separating what they're defending. right?
Exactly.
Oh, we've got a loot llama
oh,
here.
Loot Llama! Woo!
See, we just instinctively say loot llama.
I know.
I think it's gonna stick.
Impact alpaca. It's. I feel like it's
Cameron
like
would
it's
probably be sad.
It's a. He's been on here before talking about why it should be impact alpaca, but I feel like it's a syllable thing, right? Like.
Oh
loot
my god,
llama,
all the
sort of.
loots! Ah!
Okay.
Shiny, shiny loot
Shiny,
party.
shiny! Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah, Outlanders are really important.
Yes, FYI.
FYI, they're important.
Oh, I don't want that trap.
I was gonna say, oh yeah, so when you're going from one
To another.
to another,
Mhm.
you need to very easily be able to move from
Yeah.
one area to the other, either by using launch pads or building bridges,
Right.
or however, especially if it's on 2 different levels,
Yeah.
then it needs to be easy to get from one level to another. And you can't build stairs necessarily because the enemies will use them
Yeah.
to get up to the second level, so
Right.
or
And it-
come down to the first level. So you have to.
And it's so contextual, right? It's like for me, it's like when I see the one that's like a 4-gate or something like
Yeah.
that, then I'm like, I'm not worrying as much about making the fort look nice, right? Like
Yeah.
I want it to
Oh.
be simple.
Yeah, if
'cause
it's it has to be simple.
Yeah, because you have that.
You
such
get lost in them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it gets frantic and hectic and stuff, and then you're like, oh, why didn't? There's not a door in here where
know.
where I build this
And then I
room.
just end up putting doors in every wall because I'm just like, I just need to get through here. Boom, boom, and just like all the doors. Yes, that totally happens.
Kale's in the room if you're going to talk about it that way.
Wow.
Oh my God, his
Hey.
base looks
This-
so awesome.
Yeah, it is somewhat complex though.
No,
but,
it is not. It is.
I mean,
it is simplistic
looks
in its
complex.
design.
Just
It
one
looks
gate.
complex.
It's fine. Well, so and
but
what you're seeing
it's-
too, the blue outline.
Yes.
So he's placed his base,
yep.
and his base is a thing that as he upgrades it, it gives
Right.
special abilities
What is behind this wall?
to every piece that is connected to the base.
Right, and that's specific to
gonna
ability
make a
to the
door in it.
constructor, right?
Yes, that is something that it's an ability of the constructor. And so, for example, you know, the first,
All right, what else do
one
you
of the
think
first
we need?
upgrades may be the constructor very slowly regains health
Oh,
if
sorry.
he's within the area of his
Alright,
base.
we have
Or
some
maybe
stone.
I'm gonna
does
add
some
some
damage to the
towers.
husks if they walk over those parts of the base. So that's another really good benefit that the constructor has.
All right, let's
Trying to think of
see.
how I want to do it.
So what's going on over there?
Yeah. What's your next step?
I'm gonna make a
me?
tower.
Yeah.
Or-
Oh wait, I didn't know if you were asking
That's
me.
all right.
sorry.
We're looking at
we're
Natalie.
looking at
Or no, we're looking at Kale.
Kale.
You're looking
so
at
we'll,
mine?
we'll talk
Okay,
about that
so
first.
I'm game planning right now for my 4-minute death,
Oh.
and I'm going to be placing a jump pad over here, so I can quickly get over there, and then wherever I die, I'm going to place another jump pad so I can get back to my base ASAP.
I feel
There
like
you
you're
go.
ruining our fun by actually
By being a
trying to-
mastermind? No
yeah,
way.
exactly. By trying to,
I told
be
you I'm-
smart about how you're going to overcome this. I feel like you're.
I'm
well,
here to.
On one hand, we want to see you suffer, but on the other hand, it is cool to see,
See
you
that?
know.
So wait, did we already make
some
her
of
do the
some of
stick thing?
tools. No, she
No.
doesn't do. She doesn't have to defend with the stick until we start the gates up.
Okay, all right. And so when do we have to when do we
Oh,
get to
yeah,
make
this is
Kale
insane.
jump off a cliff?
First, we're gonna give some codes away.
Hey, we have some guests in the studio.
Sweet.
But so yeah, we're gonna make him do that halfway through the gate capture. So that's why he's planning right now, is because we're gonna wait until he gets halfway through it, and
Yeah.
then we're gonna tell him, hey man, you got to go run and jump off the side of the map.
Hey, what would
Um,
happen if I sabotage this base over here and knock down this little tower that you built?
Just
Oh.
stay over here in your space pod, Kale.
Wow.
So the question is, do you think they'll work together once they start the gate capture, or will they try to lure enemies to the other person's base?
Probably a bit of both, because I mean, well, so we talked about this right before the stream started, and I'm like, don't mess each other up too much because I want you to still capture both of the gates, right?
Right.
It's like it's harder
Yeah,
to
because
have.
if one gate goes down, it's done.
Yeah, it's done, right? So then we're picking from like the least bad person instead of the best person, right? If they both don't finish their capturing their gate. So I'm hoping that who knows, maybe I feel like they're probably going to be tempted to mess with each other's forts, but I hope that it's not too much that they'll actually be able to still finish and capture the gate.
So the big tower, that's Kale's, or is that Natalie's? Over
that,
there. I
That
can-
big ugly tower, that's Natalie's.
Ah! So I feel like they're
It's
taking.
not all about beauty, okay? Why is it
Yeah.
always got to be about looks?
So Kale's going like all metal, high tech. He's got the frickin' spaceship.
Yep.
Natalie's got the fortress of wood.
Yeah.
Like,
That doesn't even sound
This is like
cool.
a form versus function thing.
where'd you get all that metal, Kale? Who got it for you?
My awesome teammate, Reed.
Oh. So
I didn't-
Natalie.
Your
Yeah.
base is touching my base, so I'm just gonna remove that part, okay? I'm sorry.
I
It's just in
didn't.
my way.
I didn't realize it was going to be so difficult
You're-
to have them play against each other. But it's like even
Why
as
you
we
have to
were about to
sabotage my
start the
base?
stream up, and they
You-
realized like, hey, the
You're
gates are really
stifling my
close together.
creativity right now.
Natalie's like, hey, I don't want
Look at
to.
this.
I don't want my gate to be that close
Yeah,
to
ew,
yours.
it's touching. Don't touch me.
Look at this.
Don't touch me.
Okay, I see how it is.
They have to be separate things.
I think so. How do you guys feel in terms of like what percentage
Oh,
of your
looks like someone
forts are,
needs some-
are
Oh, no.
complete? I-
Needs
I-
Bill,
metal.
this is on you.
I-
Where's my metal?
I feel like we could give you guys maybe 5 or 7 more minutes. You think that's enough time to finish
we
up
could
what you're
add
doing?
some flair, right? Well, like we can make it pretty like Kale's if that's important to everybody.
Oh no, don't try
why
now.
Why don't you show off some of the advanced
This will be
building
the
techniques,
primping
Natalie?
part of our fort building.
Maybe some
Just
arches
2 minutes of
and-
Yep.
primping.
Yep. They're like, it's gonna do the job. Now make it look cool,
Yeah.
which is, that's okay
Reed,
too.
can you give me
Well,
some
you know,
more
and-
materials?
Just wait until the day when we have decorations
Everything.
and stuff for
Where
the
do we
for
have a
forts.
hole? Do you
Yep.
see a hole?
See, then I'm not gonna be able to be efficient at all. I'm just gonna.
I
This
know.
one?
It's
That's
just
a big
like
hole.
whenever you play a game with
Share,
like a
share.
really awesome character creation screen and you're just like,
Sweet.
"Meh."
Sweet.
What game?
Will, are you concerned about the
hang
stairs on
out
the other side of that wall?
for
being
3 hours.
They should be able to walk up that.
Okay.
Exactly. Every time she says "Will," I think she's talking to me, and so I'm
There we go.
confused. Like, sometimes that happens here. We've got people in the
See,
building
wow.
with the same name. This is the first time for me, and it's
Oh.
it's confusing me.
You know,
What
what'd be
is the
crazy
prettiest
is if it
thing you
happened to
can build?
me
That would be yeah,
Yeah.
that would be crazy.
because of how few women there are in the building, and then let alone multiple Tanyas.
All right, now I'm gonna build my
happen.
cool tower.
I may just change
See
my
that
name.
ugly
It may just
tower
be
right
easier to
there?
do that. And just
You
could
change
change
my
it
name
to-
to
Oh
Raxilla.
my gosh, the direction they're coming from changed,
You could
didn't it?
you could combine Will Kinsler
That
and
would
make
suck
it. You could
for
just
our
call yourself
strategy.
Kill Winsler.
All right, let's see. What do we got? Okay, so Kale's still building some crazy stairs here.
No, well, I'm gonna build a cool tower,
Oh,
unlike her
Wouldn't that be a jump instead of a?
her tower.
instead of,
Yeah.
instead of a straight.
So you're
I don't know.
saying,
We could
you
get
know,
down
these
our
guys
wall
have
very
obviously
quickly.
played a lot,
Yes.
and they are very, very proficient with moving quickly, editing quickly, like adding materials.
I can. I don't know if I
It
can cheat
really
that.
does kind of become like second nature
See if we do
Yep.
this.
after you've played for a little while. Although, you know, I can understand for the first time playing, looking at this might look a little crazy.
Yeah, but it is really
Let me
simple
get up
to
here
get up a basic base with
Wow.
fort with walls and stuff like that.
Yep. See in
Uh,
there. See Will just so quickly. All right, Will.
See, now
I
it's
know.
messed
Look
you
what I've
up.
done. Like Kale just so quickly, you know, turned his roof upside down and he's placing it.
I need it
That's
to be
awesome.
right here.
Yeah, I
Let's
feel
see.
like he's just
I'm feeling good about
just
my
showing
little.
Just
off.
showing off,
Let's
I
take
am.
a look.
Yeah, really.
I told you,
it
I'm trying to
seems that
win the
way.
Let's
hearts
take
and
a
the
look and
You're
see
minds
what
of the
Natalie
people
I'm
right
gonna
now.
recreate some modern architecture.
I was just gonna show you guys the top here of like looking out on the entire base is kind of crazy. Let me
Wow,
get back
that
up
thing
there.
is so ugly.
Don't.
You know, someone should build a sky, like some stairs to the sky so we can get a top-down
Yeah,
view of
we've
this
got
madness.
a nice
I think
tower.
I
It,
can
it
do
gives
that.
a great vantage point
We can
of
do that
You
there.
sound like you're on the
Kale's
home
eyesore
network.
Of a
Just
base.
saying.
In case you guys want to see what it really looks like, it actually looks.
Whoa.
Oh wow.
Dude.
Yeah. He's defending Husk, but I feel like aliens actually are gonna
Yeah.
show up. Like,
I don't know if I can actually get what I want out of this, but we're gonna try though.
So
this is
Natalie's
Trap
got
City.
this awesome hallway of doom. But how are you going to get the enemies to go into your hallway of doom?
Well, originally, it took us a little while, but originally the husks are coming from this direction. I think they
I'm gonna just
still
see if I
are.
can build
Yeah.
They
like
are.
this.
Okay.
But they might go around.
Maybe.
Well, what my theory is that the path of least resistance, right? Like they tend to head to whatever they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, the easiest way into the base.
This is one of
So
those
I
questions.
invited them in.
This is one of those questions of did she build too many traps
This is
inside there?
this is my welcome mat for the husks. It's like hello.
Can't get it.
I mean, it's so the thing that
Can't
she
get
did
it
that
like
was
that
really
way.
smart, right? Was
Yep.
she didn't build any walls in
Yep.
between the opening of that tunnel.
Just looks so welcoming.
Yeah, so it does. So they may in fact try to run down there. If they don't, it will be interesting.
Yeah, it will.
You know, and that's
Can't go here.
one more reason why
can't quite
Tanya's
get it.
strategy of sort of min maxing can be good because you hate to place traps that then don't end up getting used.
Exactly. I always try to use as few traps as possible. I opt for walls.
All right.
How much time do we have?
I'm gonna
feeling
say
alright
I'm gonna
about
say
it.
we'll
I
give you
need to,
guys like 3
okay,
more
More
minutes.
traps, just more traps.
And then what I'm gonna do is once we're done with that 3 minutes, I'm gonna have you guys run around your base one more time real quick just to look in, and everybody can see what the fort looks like since they're gonna be voting on that after you guys play through it, and then we'll kick it off. So what's the last thing you're looking to do here now? It looks like just trying to get a few more traps down.
These are her
Trap
plan
all the
Bs.
things, like traps everywhere. I mean, they're pretty on their own. I feel like you don't need like a fancy base. You just need to deck it out with traps.
I don't know. I think you're pretty functional over there, Natalie.
More bling. That's all.
You don't have to worry about looking pretty like Kale over there. I mean, I didn't mean that way. You know, in the Fortnite building bases way.
I'm gonna let this base's performance
Yeah,
speak
this
for
is gonna
itself.
be.
Okay.
This is gonna be more like what I want.
I think just by the very nature that all of the first gate from where the creatures are spawning is Natalie's section.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Kale is going to have to do much, really.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah,
unfortunate for me.
yeah, that's one of the things that's interesting about it, right? Is like hers is kind of in between.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, if they see all those traps and decide to go around, they may all go to his, and so we just don't know.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see.
Do you think? Well,
So Kale's
Oh,
kind
I
of
was a husk.
he's kind of is that you're gonna be your spot, or are you gonna set up at Kale?
Yeah, where's your...
This is one of my towers. I'm gonna try to build one over here very quickly. But yeah, you see this? I don't know what that is. You see
Alright.
this? This is like the stone fortress.
I'm gonna work on getting up high here.
So much smack talk.
Show it
So,
off.
so Tanya, before and we're gonna start up here in a couple minutes. Before they do that, they're like, what are the different kinds of enemies in Fortnite that they're probably thinking about while they're building? So we haven't seen them yet, but
Yeah.
we know that there's a lot of different kinds of enemies that they can run
There
into.
are. So you have like your close melee guys. So just starting with the husk, right? You've
Right.
got your close-up melee guys. Your ranged creatures. So like we've got dudes that, like the fat husk that vomit on you. They leave little clouds of vomit everywhere, and that's like you have to avoid that. It kills you very quickly. Bees are like the nightmare that I live in whenever I play Fortnite. It's
Yes.
like bees. So the beehive husks, whenever they come in, those are pretty terrible. The flingers, which throw artillery into your base, so you have to make sure that you've got a good, roof game on your base. We've got the larger creatures like the Smasher,
Mm-hmm.
and the Smasher will just smash the ever-living crap out of your base. And that's actually we made some changes to the Smasher just for OT3. So guys, we'll be excited to see how you like his changes. We've got the Blaster. The Blaster just does a whole lot of damage just with one blast from his mouth. So yeah, there's and there's more than that. There's a lot of creatures. You have to take these into consideration when you're building your base,
Right.
right? Some guys that have lower hit points, it'll be easier to take
Do you have any
down,
more
like you have the
stone?
smaller husks. And then
drop
other
that off.
guys like the
Keep that
Smasher
for
who have a lot of
repairs.
hit points that you're gonna have to.
Right. And so when you come into Fortnite, you're not seeing that sort
Sweet,
of
thank
breadth
you.
of enemies right away, right? You're kind of starting out,
Yeah.
as you
Yeah.
as you learn to.
When you start out in easy, you may only see the small husks and the large husks.
Mhm.
It kind of depends on what the threat level is and everything. But it's not until you really progress that you get introduced to all these different types.
And you end up having, some level of choice now, right, about a little bit more choice in terms of like what's the kind of, section or map that you want to go into.
Right. Well, so when you get to, so now you have your world map and your mission select. So that world is, everyone is playing in the same world. So when you go to play either with your friends or with strangers, you are all looking at the same world map, and as the different tiles unlock, you're all seeing the same thing. And when you go to look at the different places where you want to go, you can see very clearly like what types of rewards you'll get. So depending on the stuff is that you need or like what you're trying to unlock in home base, you can make more decisions about where you want to go and how you want to play.
Got it. So I think we're almost ready to fire this up.
Yeah.
We'll have them lay down a couple traps. Then what I want to do is real quick. I actually want you guys to go over to each other's bases, each other's forts, and I want you to just tell me just describe it for me before we kick this off. So we're watching you, Nally. So we'll have you go first, and you can tell us what you think of.
So it looks like it's really hard to tell what he's thinking about this because it's really just like who would actually build their base this way, right? So there's a bunch of short walls. I'm assuming that's to confuse husks as they're trying to make their way in the base. They're just going to be like having to knock down all these walls. And over here, they've got a nice little ramp to just walk up on top if they want. And then, they could just go straight in right here. So
I think she's talking so much crap about it.
I think Kale's
You're not wrong, Natalie. There are some flaws in the design if the husks do make it over.
They can potentially walk up that ramp, but maybe that's what he wants. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe he does.
Path of least resistance, right?
Maybe the theory here is that they will be able to navigate really well, in all seriousness, and use their weapons more effectively with this space. That's the best I can come up with. And then there's like some angled wooden things over here. Those are, look, now he's copying us with the trap
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever. You obviously got inspiration from Fort Awesome over there, and okay, so there's this. I don't even know what you would call this, but it might be a tower. It might be a slide that you could go down.
Ooh,
and then,
slides.
No, I don't think it works that way, but we should add that.
That would be cool.
And then you can see this really awesome functional base beside it. Okay, but I'll let Kale tell you about that one. Unless anybody needs more explanation on the space pod.
Oh,
Looks
that's
cool.
awesome.
Kale?
All right. So, let's head over to the slums.
Wow.
So they have a wooden tower. Okay, they beefed it up over here a little bit. This looks a little bit fancier. It was hidden behind all this nonsense. All right, so on the front of their wall, they have a lot of traps, some ceiling traps, electric. They have a nice little jump pad to get over towards the main part of their base, but this is their front wall. It's a nice looking wall. And then they have this pit of doom, which is, I guess, is supposed to deceive the husks. Looks like it's wide open, but as you guys can see, this is deadly in here. I do like it. So they might actually attract all the husks. We might not have to worry about a thing because our base is completely solidified, and this is a teaser. So all the husks might funnel right here, and they can have fun shooting and blowing up their own traps. As we get over here, this is on my lovely base.
If you're
I could be wrong. I think this is going to be, this is a little bit overkill. Could be
I
wrong.
think it'll be too much.
I think their Outlanders were a little too effective
Let's see.
at getting the materials.
Could be. Maybe,
I guess the interior of the base, they have some it's nice design here. This is on the other side. I mean, it's just really plain. It's kind of boxy. Very simple for them to understand.
It almost feels like we should, have a thing where people send in their forts to KL and he can critique them.
I know. Fort
And
commentary
apparently,
by Kale.
Yeah.
apparently she didn't want to see how awesome my fort was, so she put this metal wall on the one side so that she have to see the true fort awesome.
All right, so we're going to get this party started?
I think so. You guys ready?
I'm so ready.
All right, we'll let you get into your spots
I
there.
have my wooden stick. So
Oh, right.
Yes.
Natalie, 1 minute with the wooden
You
stick.
guys have to keep
That's
me
right.
accountable for the
Kale,
1
when does he
minute.
have to jump off the thing?
4 minutes, halfway through.
1
4
minute.
minutes? No. Oh, wait. You're jumping off. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hold this stick for 4 minutes. Sorry.
Reed, if you could just sit on top of the base, that'd be awesome. Main base.
All right.
So how are you guys
who's
gonna
gonna fire it up?
Yeah.
Starting this thing.
Well, since I have this nice little opening straight to an atlas, I'll just do it.
All right. So
Oh my goodness.
so they're gonna have to defend for 8 minutes. And Natalie at the very beginning, first minute she can only use a wooden stick. Halfway through, when there's 4 minutes left, Kale's got to run and jump off the map. That's our modifiers from the spin wheel. But we were nice. We did give them some awesome weapons that are new to OT3.
Oh, there we go.
We gave
Welcome
them
to my
the
base.
space pistol,
Yep.
Now, where are you
the
going?
assault
Assault
ray
ray
gun,
gun.
and the firecracker gun. So they do have some new stuff that is really awesome that they're going to be able to use.
All right, so let's check this out. So we've got. Oh, sorry, I can't see what's going on.
Where are you going?
There we go.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, this is what I'm really curious about, Natalie.
I can't fight him with this stick. I really can't. Do it.
See,
I gotta
look
go
at them.
back.
They're,
Just-
so they're attracted to you, so you should go to the end of your death
Yes,
trap.
kite them. Kite them.
Yes, exactly.
All right, let's turn around and see.
There we go.
It looks like
Come on,
some of them
buddy,
are actually
come
trying to
on.
come in there. So okay, so that's good.
We've already killed some.
Oh, we already have a
Oh
smasher.
wow,
Where's
it's a
that smasher at?
That's you're
So-
probably not going to
He
be able to
just
use that stick.
destroyed my buddy.
All right,
Oh,
you can
yeah,
you can switch
I'm
weapons
so
now. It's
sorry,
been a
Will.
minute, Natalie. You can
Oh,
use a
thank
real
you, thank
real
you.
weapon.
Okay, all right, here comes the smasher. Not so. Oh, he was
Wow.
taken down pretty quickly by the traps.
Yes.
So she's using
Well,
the ray
he-
gun.
Oh my gosh.
That is pretty effective so
Yep.
far. So this area, this hallway of doom, seems to be working okay. Some of them it does look like are going around the outside though.
Oh,
I
but
see some
looks like the
damage
base
on
is
Kale's
being
base.
attacked.
And
Where's the
we've
base
got
being
another
attacked?
smasher.
Oh,
Oh, no! He fell
Oh
down
my
below.
God. Oh my
Oh, this is you're
Firecrackers.
gonna die down there.
Yeah, oh my God.
Just so you know.
Firecrackers.
Oh, yep, I was not
Remember
wrong.
when you talked about whether that pit was a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So the good news is now the smasher's down
he's
there.
trapped down there.
That's true.
But Natalie also is down there. And,
met
and
Her
another
backpack
died.
is down
so,
there, too. All
Okay,
of her
so
stuff's
so
down there.
we're looking at Kale now. He looks like he's having a little bit better time. By that I mean he hasn't died. So he's doing okay. But it does seem
Oh
it
boy.
does seem like
That space design is just
he's
so
not
good.
getting as much much
dang.
action over there.
I know but that's the thing. Like, that's not, that's the nature of the spawn points.
It is. But that's what they ended up with. She ended up with one that was a little bit closer to where the husks are
Mhm.
spawning. So, I
Let's see
feel like
what-
Kale's
well,
just
looks like-
admiring the scenery. I
No,
do
there's
like.
some dudes coming in.
I do like that he's kind of just was walking around, wasn't gonna bother to help them, even though they're getting
Hey, I
the
have-
brunt of the
I have
action.
to
He's a
worry
little
about-
overrun
Okay,
right
so there's
now.
a smash. Oh, no.
I have
we've
to
got
get a flinger.
Oh,
Whoa, no.
Code
You're using my base
time.
against me right now. Come back here.
Shy, don't you know that's rude?
Where are you? He
We're
went
trying
up
to watch
We
there.
are
video game here.
maintaining over here with this hallway of death. I just want to point that out.
Where'd that?
Fix up the
Come
Team
here.
Hallway of death.
This flinger is running from me. Come
I
back.
know.
I just headshot
We
somebody.
have to jump off a cliff.
I just headshot.
That's
Oh,
right.
God.
There we go.
One
Nice.
minute until Kale's got to run and jump off the cliff. So maybe that'll make things a little more interesting.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So
geez. I
they
don't have to
found
fight
a
with
way
this
into
anymore. Oh,
Kale's
God.
base.
Yep, they're all pushing
They're
up
coming
on one
from-
wall right now.
Come on in.
Firecrackers. Woo.
That's
Yeah.
what
Kale
we're seeing
using,
our
yeah. And that's
firecracker
why,
gun.
That's
There's
why we made
a,
a firecracker gun.
There's a blaster coming. You guys need to watch out.
Oh, yep. Off in the distance.
Oh, so that blaster out there is one of the ones where when I see it, I'm just like, I gotta get rid of this guy right
Oh.
away.
Yeah. There's a backpack out there. Who died?
Oh, that might still be mine. I don't think I grabbed it.
No, yours is in the pit of despair.
Yeah.
Left my stuff.
You're just
Oh,
down
that's true.
below.
I don't know
All
if I
right.
wanna go in there.
All
Oh, I
right,
need to
Kale.
retreat.
10 seconds. You're gonna have to run and jump off the edge of the map.
Oh, man.
Oh god.
So-
I gotta head out
They're
there.
ignoring
Time
my-
to head out there.
All right,
Right
let's
now.
watch Kale do his thing and.
Oh, he even built a trap for
Yeah.
himself.
So that was really smart. Let's see where he spawns back
Man,
though.
this is one of those moments where I wish I had an instant replay. Be like, did you see what he did?
Draw on it.
He
Yep.
built an any direction.
Wow, and he's right back where he
yeah,
left.
Yeah, that was
so-
super smart, man.
All right.
Smasher.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that he was creative about it. Used the jump pad.
Yeah.
That worked out pretty well.
Oh god. He's coming through. He's
All right.
He's
Oh,
just-
so Smasher's made his way through the first.
Oh, he's
Oh
dead.
wow.
All right,
Okay.
sweet.
So,
Yeah.
so
For the outer.
it was
from the
only a
outer
few
ring.
seconds, but it looks like he's actually is having to do a little bit of work now. after having jumped off the edge of the map.
Replacing some walls. It looks like the Outlanders doing
Yeah.
their part.
I like what he's doing there. I do the same thing where
Yeah.
it gets kind of in the late game. I
Yeah.
have the half-height walls ready.
Yep.
You know, once walls start falling down, you
Yep.
just drop them,
Yep.
and it slows them down a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty quick and easy.
Let's see how Natalie's doing down the hallway. If it's going any better
Oh,
over
God,
there.
okay.
Doing well. Nobody's. I mean, they're coming in, but they're not.
I'm gonna
Looks
try
like
to-
they're all
Yeah.
going to Kale's base right now.
I
Yeah,
got
so
the
it's
space
interesting
pistol
how
on.
it started out with her having a little bit more of the action,
he's
and
out.
now things have kind of changed. I guess the Husks have they have decided that they wanted to go to KL's side.
And they're not playing
ultimately.
with me right now.
See, they're taking one path of least resistance.
I'm trying to.
They're
cut
like,
into the
hey, there's a
hallway.
lot of traps over there. Let's try this other path.
Yeah, there a lot of them are just walking down
Come on.
past the hallway. It seems like the ones that are spawning up there on top, a few of them are making their way down the hall, but not
God.
not the rest of them.
And then there
Oh,
you,
smasher.
there's another smasher.
Ah.
Let's
not
see.
playing
He's
around with
oh,
him.
Oh, where's he going?
I think he's chasing after
Oh.
or Will.
Yeah.
I thought he was maybe gonna run down the hallway, but
Come on.
Alright.
Oh no.
Will provided a nice distraction. So 2
5.
minutes left. I think you're right. They ended up having really,
no,
really
I
good
fell.
forts. It doesn't even look like they're going to take any damage to their atlases,
Mm-mm.
which is okay. Although some of the most fun times in
whoa.
Fortnite, right, are when you've got that little bit of damage left that you can
He's
have, and it's
sliding
like
down.
5 seconds,
Oh, that's
and you're trying
awesome.
to hang on.
Get
so
down. Get back.
Did you
Yeah.
jump off a cliff
Well, they've got
already?
since
Yeah,
they
of
had
course.
Okay.
so much stuff
Just making sure.
Yeah.
You could do
to
it
begin
again if
with
you want.
and lots of build time. Yeah, they definitely they maxed on this one.
Yeah. So the pitcher husk I'm seeing is damaging Natalie a little bit. It's actually a little bit different, right? We made some changes to the
There's those
pitcher husk.
bees.
It's a little
Go
more
bees.
assassin-like.
Mm-hmm.
Elemental.
Oh god, the bees.
Trying to help you.
Freaking bees.
The bees. Nightmare bees.
All right, so we're down to a minute, and it feels,
Oh no, I'm out of
feels
ammo.
it feels pretty good. So
That's
they're
not good.
obviously they're gonna succeed. Both of them are gonna succeed.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you your opinion. Who do you think did better?
Man, this is tough because they took completely different
Yeah.
tactics.
Because what I'm about to do is I'm about to drop the poll in there,
Yeah.
but I'll give you my vote. You can
Yeah.
pick one.
Oh, I died
Oh.
of bees.
Who's your vote, Will?
My vote, you know what? I'm gonna have to go with Natalie because I like the nice pretty fort and all that kind of stuff, but
Yep.
here's the thing. Her fort was a little bit closer to where the Husks spawned,
Yep.
but in the late game it was Kale who ended up having to do all the defending, so she must have done something right.
Yeah. Yeah. I think though you can't beat Kale's design. It's pretty rad. That the giant spaceship made of metal, everything glowing blue. It looks pretty awesome. I don't know. I think that in terms of function, Natalie has the upper hand on this one.
All right, so I'm dropping the poll into the chat, and we'll see what everybody says. So
Whoa!
votes coming in real quick here.
Yeah, so vote for your favorite. Dun 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 dun.
Victory!
Victory!
So what will be interesting?
Nice job, guys.
Oh, code, one more
Wow.
code too. Perfect. So what we should do is it would be interesting to see what the scores are here too. We can
Yeah.
before they come back over here, these guys can show us what the because you actually get points.
Oh, they got some base coin. Ah.
So what can they use that for?
Oh well,
Score almost
so that can buy card packs. The thing is, it's like for quick leveling up of your home base and stuff. It's like the stuff you want. So you can buy card packs, and I know we were talking about this yesterday in the office. We were like,
Oh wow, I'm watching the votes
How do
as
we
they
get this
come in.
base
It's
coin?
it's super close. It's super close.
What's the
we'll give it
scoreboard looking
another
like?
we'll give it
It
another
looks-
minute, but it is super
looks-
super
Hey,
close.
wait, what's the score? Okay.
I don't know. We
I-
don't need to look at
Wow.
that. Let's just go back to the rewards.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you build something that is super crazy like Kale, is your score is definitely going to
73,
be
40 in building.
a
Nice.
little bit higher. I'm gonna post this poll.
What about
one
that?
last
Is that
What
time.
about
because
the
of all
combat there?
It must be because of all the metal.
I didn't have to do much
That he built
combat. I
with.
had all these
Yeah, I
traps
think it's
in order for
that's
me.
probably a big
And-
part of it.
And Natalie never put her base down.
Oh man, this is like neck and neck. I need some more votes. It's
Oh my goodness.
it's so
Team
so
Natalie,
close
Team
right
Natalie.
now.
How much more time are you gonna give it?
I'm gonna just
Vote
give
for
them a
me.
minute. All right, you guys can come back over here, and we will we will give everybody another minute
Yeah,
or
the
so
post.
to we'll do the post game interview.
Gotta get my tension out.
All right. So, all right.
How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah, I'll ask you first, Kale. What do you think? How did it go?
It went well.
You felt pretty good
I
about
didn't
it?
feel stressed at all.
I see a little bit of sweat.
No. It's just
I
the
don't know.
natural
Oh.
oils of my skin.
This voting is so close right now. All right, now what do you think?
So much of my design was based on that hallway, but I got a little nervous there. But it really held up, and I think we solidified the traps on the sides where they were going to go if they avoided the hallway. So I felt good.
Do you feel like your assessment of KL's fort was accurate?
I do actually. It was mostly just beautiful.
Oh,
Just
so you were
beautiful.
saying it's like shallow, superficial.
I mean, there's something pretty to look at, something to actually do the work.
Oh. They can be both. In
Uh,
Fortnite, they can be both.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the pretty flower that you put as a decoration on your fort. Like it was like the nice.
All right,
Hey.
so quick reminder. The winner of the poll, winner of the competition, gets to decide what goes on the spin wheel next show. So, I'm going to go ahead and call it. This is super, this is like Florida in 2000 close type of
How
voting
many years
here.
ago was that? Come
on.
Florida in 2000.
So
For the love
some
of.
of us remember. I don't. Obviously, I remember. I don't even have hair. I was definitely alive for that. Okay, so actually, only won by 2 votes, 52% to 48%. Natalie won.
Yeah,
So,
Natalie.
Kale, it's, in the chat, at least function over form. That's what Fortnite is about, right? Like, it's about getting the results. So, not
So what have we
everybody,
learned?
not
So what
everybody
would you do
agreed.
differently next time, Kale?
Build more traps.
More traps?
The thing is, I think she started off with more traps than me.
Uh-huh.
So I had to build some traps there at the end and add to it. So I didn't get to build my wall of traps, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Next time.
So,
I still think I took some notes from his fort though for next time, and I think that Will helped me beautify mine when he saw. You made us nervous. Like we were like, oh, gotta make pretty things.
So now that you get to make the choice next time about the spin wheel. I think what might be kind of fun is everybody, you can see Natalie's Twitter there. If you want to tweet some suggestions to her, maybe for modifiers, maybe we'll end up with some interesting things on the wheel next time.
You could say jump off a cliff 20 times.
Use it. Exactly.
That was awesome.
It was a
by the
clutch
way.
play, right?
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, you were like, yeah.
Did
I got
you
this.
through,
did
yeah.
you think about? Because I know we talked
How
earlier
did
today
you,
about.
Did we give you the schematic to build that, or did you just find it? Did someone give it to you?
Did
you cheat?
No, I did not cheat. You start off with that one.
No, you
It's
don't.
a very early one.
I'm gonna have to go
Mm.
back
had
and
it.
watch the replay and see if
I
there's some
didn't cheat.
cheating.
I just crafted it. It was already there.
But
I didn't
won.
add any traps.
I'm just really
It's
thorough
just
with
there.
my winning. I'm really all-encompassing.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, that's gonna wrap up the show. So we actually are gonna be doing Fortnite Live every 2 weeks, 4 o'clock Eastern, on Tuesdays from here on out. So the plan is not to start and stop like we did with the past OTs. We're gonna continue to keep going every other Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Make sure that you're following us on Twitch so that you'll know when we're going live. And we will see you guys next time. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.